There's been a wide range of responses to Trump and the policies and behaviours of his administration by Democrats and opposition forces around the country. Now, this ranges from things like timidity, the idea of playing possum, the idea of avoiding confrontation, to other notions of being a bit more polite, studiously trying to find areas of agreement, trying to reach out to MAGA, or trying to allow them to pass legislation, pass budgets, vote for things if you need to. So this is sort of one side of it, the kind of playing possum or accommodationist side, to others who are more interested in vocally speaking out, in marching in the streets, in joining protests, in convening rallies, in speaking out openly. Those who are willing to take the fight to Trump are the ones who are beginning to really do the work right now. And one of the key people among them, I would say, is Senator Chris Murphy, because he has shown himself to be absolutely forthright in his criticism of Trump and unafraid in his desire to call out what this administration is really actually up to. Now I'm going to talk a bit more about that and play a clip on that in a second, just after a very quick word about this channel. I hope you're enjoying the video. As a psychiatrist who's fascinated by the worlds of politics and economics and philosophy, I love making these videos, and if you'd like to see more of them, then please do like and subscribe and comment in this video. What you'll find is that there's a beautiful community growing up around this channel. We're all going through a national and international trauma right now because of what's happening and where our leaders are taking us. And in this channel you'll find people honestly sharing their situation and their distress, and other people responding with kindness, empathy and compassion. So please join this wonderful community that we're forming, join in the comments and the dialogue that's happening. Now the thing about this administration is that it's acting in a way that suggests that it's not even linked to the rest of the system of government. It's acting completely independently, it's untethered to the Constitution. So it's spending money that it doesn't have, and it's refusing to spend money that has been appropriated for it. It's enacting policies that it hasn't been allowed to enact, that haven't been approved by Congress, that haven't actually passed into law. And then it's refusing to enact policies that have been passed into law, mandates and requirements that have actually been legislated for. So this is a pretty out of control and wild administration. But because it's so out of control, it's often hard to keep track and realize what's actually happening and what direction the administration is actually going in. You see, if you're in the middle of a plane crash, you can't actually tell where you're headed. If you're in the middle of any kind of disaster, you can't actually get a sense of your bearings. And that's why things can spiral further and further out of control. The more disorientated you are, the harder it is to reorientate yourself again and to realize where you are. And therefore, the more vulnerable you are to further disorientation. And that's why the destructors, they're not disruptors, they're destructors. The destructors can keep on destroying happily at will, while the rest of us are dazed and bewildered. That's why it's really important to have people who are articulate enough to, almost like a bolt of lightning, show us what the state we're in right now is, what's really happening, and demonstrate clearly the trajectory we're on. And that's exactly what Senator Chris Murphy did in this hearing in the Senate this week. And he did it to Kristi Noem, the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is a woman who stood in front of the El Salvador torture chamber, that prison where, by the admission of that government's own head, said that nobody gets out of there alive. Where they're sending people from America who have permission to legally reside in America without any due process or any hearing. She stood there in front of them, these people who have been taken away from their families, with a $50,000 Rolex watch on. That just gives you a sense of her ethics, her morals and her principles. She seems to be enjoying this job so much, and she seems to even be gaining pleasure in other people's suffering. The only actual work she seems to do is engage in the kind of sycophantic grovelling towards Trump that this whole cabinet has become famous for. Well, that servile and self-serving face disappeared in this hearing. Just watch how she reacts to the words from Senator Chris Murphy. Just watch what the reaction is when somebody is told the truth about their actions, when the reality of what they're doing is brought home to them in thunderous words, words with such clarity that it cannot be denied, even by those in the deepest level of denial.
I say this with seriousness and respect, but your department is out of control. You are spending like you don't have a budget. You're on the verge of running out of money for the fiscal year. You are illegally refusing to spend funds that have been authorized by this Congress and appropriated by this committee. You are ignoring the immigration laws of this nation, implementing a brand new immigration system that you have invented that has little relation to the statutes that you are required, that you are commanded to follow, as spelled out in your oath of office. You are routinely violating the rights of immigrants who may not be citizens, but whether you like it or not, they have constitutional and statutory rights when they reside in the United States. Your agency acts as if laws don't matter, as if the election gave you some mandate to violate the Constitution and the laws passed by this Congress. It did not give you that mandate. You act as if your disagreement with the law, or even the public's disagreement with the law, is relevant and gives you the ability to create your own law. It does not give you that ability. Let's start with your spending. You are on track to trigger the Anti-Deficiency Act. That means you are going to spend more money than you have been allocated by Congress. This is a rare occurrence, and it is wildly illegal. Your agency will be broke by July, over 2 months before the end of the fiscal year. You may not think that Congress has provided enough money to ICE, but the Constitution and the federal law does not allow you to spend more money than you have been given or to invent money. And this obsession with spending at the border, as the chairwoman mentioned, has left the country unprotected elsewhere. The security threats to the United States are higher, not lower, than when before Trump came to office. To fund the border, you have illegally gutted spending for cybersecurity. As we speak, Russian and Chinese hackers are having a field day attacking our nation. You've withdrawn funds for disaster prevention. Storms are going to kill more people in this country because of your illegal withholding of these funds. Your myopia about the border, fueled by President Trump's prejudice against people who speak a different language, has shattered many of this country's most important defenses.
I hope you liked the video. I hope you also can join me with more of my content that I'm aiming to make over the coming months and years. You see, this time around, what we're experiencing in this administration is a global trauma, and the people going through it have been asking, how can we support ourselves? How can we learn and grow and share together through this process? So I've started to write a series of ebooks. That's together with my whole team. Once a month, we're going to produce an ebook to help us understand better the psychology of the people around us and the systems we're in, as well as our own psychology too, to help us navigate this increasingly confusing and disorientating world we find ourselves in. You'll be able to find those books on russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com. As soon as you go there, you'll be able to see the growing catalogue of books and hopefully buy any of them at any point. In addition, I hope you can subscribe to my e-newsletter. See, there's a link in the description of this video and also the description of the channel. And if you go there, you'll be able to fill out a form. Once you've completed the form, you'll then be able to get subscribed to my e-newsletter. And that way you can always be kept up to date about the content I'm producing. You see, the fact is that this platform, as well as all platforms, are owned by a very small number of oligarchs. And at any point, they might decide to shut down a channel like this. And if they do that, then, well, it's going to be hard for us to keep connecting. So if you sign up for my e-newsletter, that way you'll be able to make sure that you'll be informed about my content wherever it's delivered and wherever it lands. Finally, I hope you might also consider becoming a member of the channel. If you do, you'll get these ebooks for free every month. So all the ebooks I produce go free to my members who join the channel every month. Also, you can get priority response to comments, and there's also a members only chat page for higher level members that we engage in regularly to sort of learn, share and support one another. As I say, this is a difficult time, it's a traumatic time in history, so many of us need support from each other. I'm hoping each of these things can help all of us create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.